Hey guys, I understand this video is like dark. That is intentional because I'm about to go to bed. But I finally figured out a way to clear all my storage. So I wanted to talk today about people, or you guys necessarily, needing to be more curious. I think we do a lot of things that we're so comfortable with, we kind of forget to reach out of our comfort zone. And the biggest motivator, I feel, is not like, oh, I need to just do it. Sometimes that works. Sometimes, you need to do something out of necessity, like go to the hospital and you've never been, but you're sick and like you're really ill. That's a situation where you need to. But if you want to go check out a hospital or you want to go do something, but you're kind of scared to do it by yourself, I think the biggest motivator you could use is just simple curiosity. And I think, honestly, you should give yourself grace throughout this process because testing your curiosity is a big step. And you don't have to do it straight up. You don't have to be perfect at it the first time. No one's asking you for that. Honestly, if you're too intimidated the first time, leave. Like the fact that you go for 15 minutes, that is amazing. Like I'm already proud of you. If you want to go check out a club, you want to go to a new bookstore, you want to check out a new cafe, if you go in for 15 minutes and you already feel overstimulated, that's okay. You already completed half the task because you showed up. And it may be scary if you have like social anxiety. I would say just plug in your headphones. And if it's not that easy, you may need another motivator. I'd like to say like take a friend, take one friend, or even call a friend while you're there. Sometimes when I'm anxious to go grocery shopping, I'll call my dad or I'll call my sister. So call a family member, call a friend, call someone. Listen to a podcast that will help soothe your nerves throughout that process, because going out of your comfort zone is a big step and it can definitely trigger your nervous system. And I've kind of went over some ways to regulate your nervous system, but if you're still kind of panicking about it or you're still trying to figure out your way through it, the best way I'd say is to have like a soothing voice near, or a stress ball, something you can stim with, like a stimulation. Like I have this frog here, and you'll see me like squeezing this sometimes during videos because I like this. Like I'll do this while I'm doing my homework too. But having something there as a mental stim or physical stim to kind of help you regulate your nerves through this process. But it's a huge leap of faith and a huge leap for you to even go and try it. Like curiosity is a great motivator because it's not, oh, I need to be perfect at this. It's, what if I did that for fun, The biggest aspect about my transformation was just simple curiosity. Like I loved doing psychological tests. 1 week, I used to wear all black clothing, right? 1 week, for some reason, I thought, what if I wore like tie-dye clothes? Like what if I just completely switched up my wardrobe and wore super bright clothes? And then I tracked how people acted towards me throughout that time. So I'd see like if I wore a red shirt, more people were inclined to talk to me than if I wore a black shirt. If I wore a yellow shirt, like a bright shirt, no one would talk to me. I'd be like, ooh, like that was a stretch, right? But these like simple things that kind of make you curious, that kind of entice you in a way to your own study, you need to pursue, because it's going to increase your motivation to check out new things. And then you're going to discover new passions and new things you love. And right now, since I'm about to transfer, I'm trying to do everything I can possible. Like I'm gonna do, I don't know what it's called, aromatics, but it's essentially where 2 strings hang from the ceiling and you have to like support yourself and spin and move on it, which is insane. Like why would I ever want to do that? But at the same time, like why would I ever not want to do that? I'm totally curious. And I think curiosity is the biggest hook. It's the biggest hook into books. It's the biggest hook into our phones. We get a little bit curious. So find something that kind of entices you to do something that makes you curious. And I think with finding yourself, you should always be curious. even if it feels uncomfortable. A big factor of it is testing something out to see if it feels right or if it doesn't feel right. And it's totally normal for something to not feel right. I took Zumba one time. That did not feel right for me. That was not for me. But I did boxing, and that felt super right for me. So it really depends on what you try. And know that not everything is going to fit you. It's like a glove. If you're trying on different gloves, not every glove is going to fit you, and not every glove is going to look cute on you. You might look at one and be like, oh, this looks kind of funky. You can always put it back. All you have to do is try it once, and sometimes if you can tell from the jump, like, oh, this is not for me, that's okay. You can try it maybe later on in life, give it a second chance, but you don't really have to give something another opportunity if you don't really want to. If you feel like deep down in your heart, my dad, he would give me advice to like try something at least 3 times before you give it up. And I would say that's pretty solid advice, but if something gives you a bad experience the first time, like, for example, you have a really rough instructor, try a different studio. You can try the same topic, yes, try the same subject, try the same curious point. If you want to go to an aquarium and your first aquarium, catches on fire, you can go to another aquarium. That was an extreme example. But no, there are other alternatives that kind of relate to the same thing. You don't have to stick with the same thing. You don't have to commit to nothing like that. All you have to do is commit to the curiosity to start it. And I think that's a huge thing that people kind of forget about, because we're so inclined to like doing something to be perfect, or just to get it done, or just to be the best at it. You don't come born into the world thinking, I'm going to be the best breather in the world. You're not born into this competitive mindset. You're raised into it. And if you transition your competitive mindset into a curious mindset, you'll find different things you actually love and want to pursue. And if you find yourself pursuing those passions, that's amazing. I applaud you for that, because that's getting you into a safer place where you know you better. And the only person you should really get to know is yourself. And that's like a huge thing, because also once you push your curiosity, you're finding different things about yourself that you love. It's a huge spectrum. And I really encourage anything you do to try and find yourself, even if it's like feeling super out of left field. For me, something that was kind of out of left field was I was kind of an emo kid growing up, but I did horseback riding with my friend. I didn't like it. I committed to the camp. I got bucked off a horse, and I'm terrified of horses, but now I know it's not for me. I like seeing horses. I like looking at them. I think they're beautiful, majestic creatures, but I'm not going on one. I'm not touching one, right? I think they're beautiful in their own space, and I've always thought that. But the curiosity is a huge factor. It's feeling intrigued enough to go see it and finding something out for yourself. And sometimes you may find a passion. When I was younger too, as an outlet, I would draw a bunch of random stuff. I'm very artsy. So I'll draw, I'll paint, just like how with my sister's pregnancy, I found painting as a really great outlet, just painting a room. I would say paint the weird stuff. When you're emotional and you want to paint something, you might paint something extremely explicit. And don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of what you might find out about yourself, because at the end of the day, that is still part of you. And personally, I spent a long time avoiding that stuff too, because I couldn't look at it. It was something that's hard to kind of go back to. But curiosity led me back to it and had me accepting it, because it is a part of me. It's a part of my past. It's always going to be there. So curiosity is a really big motivator to connect with yourself and to fully realize and accept yourself for who you are. Because Through these actions, through these little bits of things you do, you increase your confidence and you increase your knowledge about yourself. You become more sure of yourself because now you know, I tried putting on makeup once and I used the color purple, but I don't think it really worked for me. Maybe you tried a few new looks, you really gave it a shot. You just thought, it didn't work for me. But now you know the color purple doesn't work for you. And maybe later on, maybe a few years later, once you get really good at makeup, you get curious again, right? You can always go back to it. Nothing is ever something that you have to fully commit to or fully give up. And if you do have to give something up, you can always come back to it, or it may always come back to you. You never know. In summary, people need to be more curious. You need to be more curious because it leads to you finding new things about yourself, finding new reasons to love yourself, and new reasons to enjoy being with yourself. It's also similar to like taking yourself on dates. And men, you can do this as well. Or honestly, go to like the golf course. I would count that as a date. My dad likes to go gold panning. It's your own personal time where you learn to value your own space and your own time with yourself and use it. Use it as a way to reflect and as a way to connect with yourself and find what really suits you and what doesn't. Because you don't want to spend the rest of your life doing something you hate. Or you don't want to spend the rest of your life being curious about something you never actually pursued. And that's one thing a lot of people regret. Really big thing. You just need to be curious and let your curiosity take over sometimes. Even if it feels odd. Even if it feels weird. Because it's still a part of you. And that curiosity is not going to go away unless you try it. And the worst part is, you may fall in love with it, or you may give it up. And that's totally okay. It's part of the process. I hope you guys have had a great week. I hope you guys continue to have a great year. And I'll see you next time. Good night.